Welcome to another video on Sick Bagger's YouTube channel. I'm Steve, and today I'm going to be addressing how to winterize your bagger motorcycle. Now, the beginning there may have been a little bit dramatic, guys, but I think a lot of us have been there. We go through this every year. There's already a ton of videos on YouTube that talk about winterizing motorcycles, but I'm going to let you know how we do it here, and we're going to specifically concentrate on the bagger bikes. Of course, we cannot cover every situation out there, so maybe you can just take this information, get out of it what you can, and then decide what's best for your scenario. So the first thing we want to do is address the fuel that's in the system. We want to get the fuel ready for the winter. We want to get the tank ready for the winter. Carbureted, guys, you may want to go ahead and just drain everything, drain your carburetor, drain your tank. That way you don't have anything in there that can actually gum up over the winter. Fuel injection, guys, it's a little bit different. Get you a bottle of fuel stabilizer. I don't really care what kind you get. We get the stable. This is the stuff we use every year. I use it in all my power equipment. The most important thing about getting this tank ready for the winter is actually topping it off. I mean, straight to the top where there's no air in there. That's the best scenario. We talk about heated garages, semi-heated garages, no heat on your bike. Even the guys, when I say semi-heated, you might park your bike back in the back and cover it up and kind of forget about it over the winter. And you come in, you want to do some work in the garage, and you flip the heat on, you get it real warm in there. When you raise the temperature real quick in your garage like that, go over and look at your tank. I promise you, you'll see exactly where the fuel line is on that tank. So if you've got half a tank of fuel, all of this up here on the outside is going to be covered with moisture. Guys, if it's on the outside, it's on the inside. So you want to avoid that. Top the tank off. Use the stabilizer. Best case scenario, you have a really good day. You know it's getting ready to turn winter. Ride your bike to the gas station. Actually put the fuel in, put the proper amount of stable in there, ride it back home, and then top it off again, depending on how far away your gas station is. So worst case scenario, we've already been hit with a snowstorm. I didn't get a chance to winterize the bike, so we just add the stable to fuel in a gas can. Go ahead and fill it up. Once I get these bikes topped off, guys, I'll pop the garage door and run these bikes for about 10 to 15 minutes. That's going to really make sure that you get the treated fuel actually all the way through the fuel system. Having that pre-treated gas can in your garage is always good, guys. We may get like a freak day where it's nice and warm and we want to take the bikes out for a ride. That's fine. Having that gas can in the garage, it's already pre-treated. I can just top the bike back off when I get back home. So the next thing we want to address in this bike is the fluids. The majority of us have rode these bikes all summer long. There's all this crap and stuff built up in the motor. So this is a good time to go ahead and do an oil change. And there's certain mile markers that we're supposed to follow from Harley Davidson. 5,000 for the oil, 10,000 for this, 12,000 for that. Me personally, guys, I do a 3-hole oil change right before the beginning of every winter. That way the bike's fresh in the springtime. I know all of the gunk and stuff that's built up over the summer. I know all that crap's out of there. It's not setting on the internal parts all winter. So it's not that expensive and it's super easy to do. I've got a 3-hole oil change video right there, and I'll put the link down in the description, but it walks you through step by step from the beginning to the end on how to do a proper 3-hole oil change on your Harley. Like I said, it's not that expensive and you can actually save some more money by doing it yourself. So make sure you check out that video if you haven't already. But the biggest thing is getting some clean fluids in these bikes and having it ready for spring. So you guys with the water-cooled bikes, go ahead and address that right now as well. None of these in here are water-cooled, so can't really show you that. But there's videos on YouTube that you can check out. You want to get that crap antifreeze out of there, get some new stuff in there for the spring. Once again, super easy to do and something that you can do at home. And that's going to make sure your coolant system is also ready for the spring. So from there, guys, pretty much got all the dirty work out of the way. We've got the fuel in check. We got the oils and stuff in check. The dirt crap stuff is done. Now we can start working on the outside of the bike and protecting it. So this is one of those things you may want to address before you have that pop-up snowstorm. If you don't have a heated garage where you can wash and wax your bike, if you have to do this outside, you're gonna have a bad day. Most of these bikes in the shop are pretty clean. So from here, I'll just use a waterless wash. Make sure I go over everything. You want to make sure that you get the bugs off. Guys, that's the biggest thing. Get the bugs and get the tar off. Bugs are acidic. bugs sitting on your clear coat all winter long will start eating into your clear coat. But with this one, I'll just go ahead and make sure I got all the bugs and stuff off with the waterless wash. It's easy to do. I'm not making a big mess in the garage. Good waterless wash. I use Killer Wax H2O, and that takes off all of the bugs and stuff like that off the bike, so we don't have anything sitting on the paint over the winter. So after you get the bike clean, you can polish from there if you want to, just depending on how far you want to go with your detail. You can polish from there, but then after that, the most important step is protecting the paint. Get a really good coat of wax on your paint. Go ahead and do the chrome, do the plastic, do everything. Get everything sealed in with a nice coat of wax. I'll go ahead and hit my paints, my plastics, my chrome, everything with this wax. Make sure that you let it set up and dry. Wipe it off. Protect that paint over the winter. It doesn't matter if you have the bike covered or if you have it uncovered. Go ahead and protect everything. So the next thing we need to address, guys, is the battery. Pretty easy thing to deal with outside of, there's a couple of scenarios that come into play here. If you have to park your bike outside, take the battery out. Take the battery out and bring it into your house. Put it in some kind of climate controlled area. Stick a battery tender on it. I would even go so far as to say, if you don't have a heated garage, I would even take the battery out. That's just my own personal opinion. If you don't have a heated garage, but you do have a covered area, I would still take the battery out and take it in. It's in a climate controlled area. You can put a battery tender on it and forget about it. A couple of different battery tenders on the market. You can get these on Amazon, eBay, your local parts store, Walmart has them. I actually got this one at Walmart for 30 bucks, and it comes with everything that you need. This is an older Walmart one, a shoemaker that still works really good. So we use that in here. These touring motorcycles already have a plug that has an inline fuse in it that goes up to your battery. It's underneath this side panel. It's very easy to get to. Now, if you've bought the bike used, the guy before you may have pulled it out and moved it and zip tied it someplace, but it's pretty much always coming out right behind the side cover, so it's easy to find. You're gonna pull that plug out, put it somewhere where you can easily access it, and then go ahead and plug your battery tender into that. They're all universal, so it doesn't really matter what brand you buy. As long as it's a battery tender, it's gonna have this universal plug on it, and it's gonna plug into your Harley. Keep in mind, guys, I'm talking about battery tenders, not battery chargers. A battery charger, like one that you see that's honking with the clamps on it, and you put it on your car to charge it when it's dead so you can get your butt to work. Completely different thing. A battery tender is going to slowly trickle charge your battery only when it needs it. Me personally, I don't really care what the temperature is outside. If I'm parking the bike for more than 2 weeks, I plug the battery tender in. You don't have to worry about it. When you come back, your battery's charged. So if you're one of them dudes that are gonna jump on down here and say, well, I just run out to my garage and start my bike about once a month or every couple of weeks and let it run 10 to 15 minutes and it's good to go. That's probably the absolute worst thing that you can do for your motorcycle. It's just completely wrong. 10 to 15 minutes running in the garage is not even close to getting that bike up to running temperature. So what you're doing is any moisture that has built up in there, you've got those fresh fluids in there, and you've got that moisture in there now from it sitting there. 10 to 15 minutes, you've just dispersed the moisture around through the entire motor. You're not getting it up to temperature, and you're not giving it enough time to burn off that moisture. Second thing, guys, it's hard on those batteries when you start those big bagger bikes. It's the hardest thing that your battery will do. Running radio and all that stuff is nothing. Starting the bike is the hardest dump on that battery. So just starting the bike and letting it sit there and idle is not charging your battery. Coming out here and revving the piss out of it for 15 minutes is not charging your battery. So if you're in that mindset, guys, that your bike is gonna take care of your battery, it's not. You're actually hurting your bike and your battery by doing that. Hey, I just want to take a quick second to tell everybody thank you for subscribing to the channel and checking out our videos. Always free videos all of the time. We don't charge you for videos. We don't do Patreon, we don't ask for donations, none of that stuff. Maintenance, how-tos, product reviews, all that stuff is on our channel. If you haven't already, check out the whole channel, a plethora of bagger-related videos on there. You can also find Sick Baggers over on Instagram and on Facebook. If you check us out over on Facebook, you can get a hold of some bagger swag. We do the t-shirts over on the Facebook side. We do a pre-order a couple of times a year. We get everybody's t-shirts out. So find SIK Baggers over on Facebook, ask to join, and we'll get you hooked up. Back to the video. I want to address a couple of just little final things here. I see in the forums, I see this argument all the time in the forums about flat spots on your tires or getting your tires off of the ground. With today's radials on these motorcycles, guys, they're a lot stiffer, a lot better tire. They don't develop flat spots like they used to back in the day. That was always a big thing back in the day if you're storing your bike over the winter to get it up off the ground. Here's my personal take on getting your tires off the ground. If it makes you feel good to get your tires off the ground, then by all means, get your tires off the ground. If you have a garage and you have a motorcycle jack, jack it up. It's not gonna hurt it. Plus, now it's mobile, so if you need to move it around the garage, it's easy to move. You've got your jack under your bike, so you don't have two things taking up room in your garage, and like I said, you can move it if you need to. Then I see guys talking about separating the tires from the concrete or separating the tires from gravel, whatever. If you have a piece of plywood, if you have a rug, anything like that, put it under the tires. Once again, it's not gonna hurt it. Here in the shop, we move the bikes around a lot. They don't set in one space. But if I had to park a motorcycle back there for 4 or 5 months and I do have a floor jack, I'm more than likely just gonna probably put the floor jack under it. That way I don't have to worry about it. And once again, it's mobile. If I need to move that thing out of the way, I just move it out of the way. So one last thing that you wanna do is make sure that you cover your exhaust tips, your breather, any open hole where any rodents like mice, those are the big ones in the wintertime. The mice come in, they get in there, they make nests, and it's nasty. If you got the road glide, that's about all you need to do. But if you have a street glide or a bat wing fairing, that thing's open in the bottom, and you want to make sure that you block that. I don't know how many times in the springtime I've seen guys open up their fairings to do, put an amp or something in their bike, and there's a huge rat's nest in there. Well, that's because they get in through the bottom. So just take something and jam up in there. Check it every now and again just to make sure they haven't chewed through that. All your wiring's in there and they will eat through your wiring. So one last thing I want to talk about is covering your bike or not covering your bike. And I'll see guys argue about this until they're blue in the face. And I think it's scenario related once again. Is your bike outside? Is it inside? Is it heated? Is it not heated? So if you're absolutely dead set on covering your bike, make sure that you get a good quality cover. If you guys jump on Amazon and eBay and you buy a $10 cover, you're gonna get a $10 cover. Those things are very plasticky, and especially for you guys that store your bikes outside where wind's gonna be blowing on it all the time, those cheap covers are gonna destroy your paint. Now the covers that we use are from Skin It. If you watched any of our videos in the past, a couple of weeks ago, we did a lid covers for the speaker lids. It's from Skin It. You put it on in case it's raining or whatever. It keeps the water from getting into your speaker. Now this material is breathable, so that also makes it water resistant, not waterproof. So you need to pay attention to that, guys. It's not waterproof. You can't put it around your bike and throw your bike in the lake. Like I said, this material is soft. It's not going to scratch your paint. It's stretchy. It's form-fitting to your bike. And these are specifically made for the bikes. Just like this Street Glide back here, when you go to order it, it's going to ask you, do you have a tour pack or do you not have a tour pack? It just depends. They're custom made to fit all of these different motorcycles. So if you're interested in getting one of these covers, go over to the website at skinit.com. Like I said, the link will be down below. You can click it, it'll take you straight over there. Find your motorcycle and then make sure you select the options for your motorcycle. The buckles are even covered, so you don't have to worry about these plastic buckles smacking on your paint. Everything's covered so you don't scratch your paint. Like I said, they are breathable. So if you do get any moisture, anything like that in there, it's going to be able to breathe and dry on its own. So this is a good opportunity for you to really go over your bike as well. You got some downtime. If you have the luxury of having a garage or a heated workspace where you can really go over your bike, that's a great time to do it. These are just the things that I do, guys, but maybe there's something that you do personally that can help others. So make sure that you leave the comment down below. If you like the video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Check out the channel, over 100 bagger related videos on here. Make sure you share the channel with your buddies too. Let them know about us. We're always here, always free videos all the time. I appreciate the hell out of every one of you, and I'm going to get out of here and get my butt back to work. And until next video, as always, be safe, keep your knees in the breeze.